Welcome to Morning Jams on the Porch with Stephen Leake. I'm Stephen. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. The sun's out, it's warm, the sky is blue, and the birds are chirping. I'm just glad to be here. We get to hang out on my porch and play guitar for everybody. It's kind of awesome. It's Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. Thanks for having me here. I'm going to start off with American Gangster. We're on the precipice of the golden age, a time of peace and prosperity for all Americans. If we can keep the faith and keep on pushing, this is the last stand on earth for the dignity of the individual. It's our birthright to live free and safe, to speak our minds, keep what we earn. We won't be ground into dust by taxes and bureaucracy. I'm always afraid of those who sacrifice for others. We will never submit to tyranny as long as my friends and I have breath in our lungs. It's our birthright to live free and safe, to speak our minds, and keep what we earn. Alright. Thanks. I'm getting better at that, though. I'm gonna say what I said yesterday about like the Epstein files. I'm not making an excuse. This is just something that could possibly happen. This is what could be happening. Like the Epstein files, like that would represent like very specialized information, and it may be better that the Trump administration use the tools of state to deal with that in a quiet manner and counter Mossad than just publishing it uh, for the public openly. Although I would personally rather see it just come out, cause a big stink, or you can send these people to jail and be done with it. Um, but that could be what's happening. I'm just making an observation. Trump could be using like state the tools of state, like I said, to be countering Mossad quietly and clandestinely. That could be a possibility. Is all I'm going to say. And Trump has like consistently proven himself to be a fighter for the American people, and I'm going to not just give up on him so quickly. He's earned the benefit of the doubt, for God's sake. I know it's frustrating to hear them just come out and say, like, all that shit, it doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. And there may be a reason for that. We shouldn't just be losing hope in the guys we put in there and who we voted for to do their jobs. I'm sure they're aware of what's going on, and and there's a reason for this. Um, Trump released a lot of JFK stuff that implicated Israel and Mossad in the Israel lobby in the assassination of JFK. He wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have. He chose to do that, and he wouldn't have done that if he wasn't aware of the power that AIPAC and Israel lobby had over this country. And he wouldn't have done that if he wasn't trying to do something about it. So just give him time and try to be understanding. I don't think he would come this far just to sell out. You know. This is one of my Monarch Urban Wear shirts, and you can get it in Monarch Urban Wear. MonarchUrbanWear.com. It's one of my um, businesses, and I design all of these myself. And we have a company that's in the U.S. that makes it for us, but we're in the process of getting investment from people to make these shirts ourselves here in Rock Hill, York, South Carolina. If you want to be a part of that, you want to help invest in our company to bring you jobs locally here to Rock Hill in York County, South Carolina, go to monarchliterary.com, monarchurbanwear.com, or monarchholdingsinternational.com. That's the holding company that owns all of my various creative projects and businesses. And we're going to be trying to bring a printing shop, a t-shirt printing shop here to York, and like give one or two people like a decent job. Um, it's just going to take like individuals investing in creating businesses and in individual investment to like stimulate the economy here in York County. Um, that's what I'm trying to do anyway. I'm like making enough for myself to get by right now. I'm able to like put money back into my business and my projects, and I also have a new radio station, an internet radio station. You can find at stephenleake.com, and I've been making shows, radio shows, and stuff that are like libertarian leaning and counterculture that like help like in collective liberation and personal liberation, and talk about like tips, tricks, and techniques for libertarian activism and how you can be more free and detach yourself from the matrix, if you want to call it that, and like just be less dependent on a system. And I always advocate like people, you need to have like about 2 weeks of canned food and 2 weeks of water uh, stored somewhere just for emergencies. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could just be a power outage or a natural disaster or just some random shit that happens, like a supply chain issue, you know. And you can always use it if you hold on to that food and until it gets close to where it expires, you can just eat it and cook with it, and you're not going to lose any money on doing that. I call it insurance you can eat, you know. That's instead of buying gold and doing all that stuff, I just buy canned food and storable food. And there are also like companies that sell prepackaged storable food, something that's dehydrated, stuff like that. They just add water, and you can have like a meal ready. It's good for like when the power goes out, like I just said. I do advocate you have like 2 weeks of that, and also have. I would like to say $1,000 in cash and small bills. But if you can only do like 500 or even a couple hundred, just do it in as many ones as you can and fives. And that's like if there's a cyber attack and the banks are down or whatever, something like that. You can use money and get by for like a couple weeks. Um, I don't think any of that's going to happen tomorrow. It's just something to think about, and just always a good idea to have a little bit of cash on hand that you don't spend and you save for emergencies. It's good to have that in small bills like ones and fives. I would do that before I started buying gold and stuff. I do I do invest in Bitcoin. I don't make a ton where I can just invest a bunch, but I do have some. Uh, you know, most investors are going heavy into Bitcoin, but you need to do your own research. And I would be weary of like putting all my money in the hands of somebody who's making money off of me. If you have friends who are financial people, the number one thing is to do your own research. You are ultimately you're in charge of yourself. And so do your own research to the point that you feel like you're well informed enough to invest, and you only do that with money you're willing to lose when you put it into cryptocurrency or the stock market. You have to be willing to risk losing that money to invest. Um, it's always a good idea to have gold too. That won't hurt, and you can invest in like assets. It's what a lot which is how a lot of institutions are going. Like instead of stocks and bonds and stuff like that, physical things. Like artwork or just. I know me and my dad were talking about like investment grade shotguns and stuff like that, like physical things you can buy. Um, that's People are talking about that too. And I'm not one to just go around giving investment advice. I don't really know if I'm not going to give anybody a stock tip or anything, but that's just common sense stuff that everybody can do. Um, and my latest podcast was on ivermectin and medical freedom. I do suggest people listen to it. Um, a lot of people that I talk to in my circles, and like the libertarian, the freedom movement, the truth movement, take ivermectin themselves if they've had the COVID vaccine. And just because there's been so much reported vaccine injury, and I take it myself. It was approved. It's been approved for human use since 1987. It has won a Nobel Prize in medicine and physiology. The people who developed it and invented it won a Nobel Prize because it was so safe and so effective and like was such a big deal in global health. Um, so, and it's been widely used for decades and is known to be safe and effective. And the fact that like everybody came out and the mainstream media and the pharmaceutical industry came out and like just made all this crazy shit up about it to the public and told that to the public should set off kind of some red flags, and you should be looking into it yourself. Don't take anybody else's word for it. If I can get you to do one thing, is do your own research. And that doesn't mean just Googling something. You can like go to the library and look up primary sources, okay, and don't just Google a CNN article or a New York Times article. That's not The media is already proven it can't be trusted with everything. And if I can just draw your attention to like there was a congressional hearing in 1975 called the Church Senate hearings, in which the government was like admitted that it plants stories in mainstream media to for like propaganda purposes, and just that fact alone should keep you from just making all your decisions based on what you see on TV and just what you see in reading newspapers and online articles. Do your own research and look into primary sources, right? You'll be fine. Just use common sense. This one's called methadone. I'm such a piece of shit. My clothes are all dirty. The cigarette burns from nodding off. I finally saved up for a used car. The damn thing broke down in my driveway. I can't keep a woman longer than a year before she figures out I'm a giant loser. I'm such a piece of shit. My clothes are all dirty. The cigarette burns from nodding off. I never meant to be a drain on society. But I can't catch a break long enough to get straight. I just damage any woman that loves me. All of my friends stopped talking to me long ago. I'm such a piece of shit. My clothes are all dirty. The cigarette burns from nodding off. I'm still working on getting that one tight, so thanks for bearing with me as I practice it. That's methadone. So many of my friends, so many just regular people that you know have to deal with addiction, and it's a societal problem. It's not so much an individual moral failure. When the powers that be, you know, push this stuff on us, and it would not exist. Drugs would not be such a problem if it wasn't the way the government or whoever big corporations wanted it to be. You know, other countries have methods of keeping drugs off their streets, and I'm just gonna say that like the FDA approved OxyContin, and it was made. OxyContin was made by the Sackler family and Purdue Pharmaceuticals, and it had to have been studied, and people would have known it was addictive, and pharmaceutical reps had to have lied, and were caught lying to doctors, telling them that it wasn't addictive. It was obvious to everyone that it was, and and then you also have uh, heroin production and poppy cultivation, uh, blowing up in Afghanistan in the same exact years that the military is engaged in fighting there, and the same thing happened during in the 60s and 70s during Vietnam, where we had a heroin epidemic. At the same time, we were fighting in a country that had opium production, and heroin production. You can extrapolate from that what you will. I know people are gonna get mad at me, but that's how that shit works. When you have billions, if not trillions, of dollars at stake, it it doesn't the normal morality that you and I have does not enter into the equation. When these corporations, this is so much money that it could sustain a country for a year. You know what I'm saying? It just $1 trillion could fight a war for several years, and you're talking about that much money. These people do whatever. You shouldn't put anything past these companies. And when you see these freak weather events happening, you can go to the areas they happen. And there will be some company that has been sniffing around there, operating in that area, that has a financial that would benefit financially from that disaster happening the way it did. Who would have expressed interest in the land that got devastated, and somehow the people would not sell out. And that you can go to almost everywhere this crazy weather happens, and that'll be true, and you can find something like that. Um, you know, that's kind of the reality we're faced with. Um, Weather modification and weather manipulation and even weather weapons I've read the white papers myself on this technology, and it exists. It has existed for a while. It's nothing new. During the 70s and during the Vietnam War, there were reports of early weather weapons being used to flood the Viet Cong and stuff like that. This has been a known practice it's been a known it's something that the military has been thinking about for decades. Um, so I read a white paper on this technology in which they were using the fighting cartels and using weather weapons as a force multiplier. That's a known kind of doctrine that already exists. And it would not be that big of a stretch for private companies to be using that technology for their own purposes. So just be aware of that. I'm writing a new song today. I already got the lyrics, but I haven't got the guitar part yet. And I kind of met this girl. It was like so amazing. She's a Methodist minister, but I'm not going to say her name. And we hit it off really well, but we're both kind of dealing with shit right now, and it was just timing isn't right. So we're going to wait and put her on the back burner and kind of come back to that potential relationship when we're both in a better place. Um, and it was you know, something I can look forward to and have hope in. Um, I've always had some kind of issue with relationships, not because I can't find girlfriends or anything, because um, the nature of being an artist and stuff like that, and having such a kind of an alternative lifestyle, or whatever you're going to call it, it's not really conducive to um, long term relationships. It's really hard for somebody to just settle down when they don't have a steady 9 to 5 kind of corporate job or something like that. When I kind of make money kind of irregularly through creative stuff, I have to be extra vigilant on how I manage it, so I can have a steady income enough to like keep up a girl, right? Anyway, my dog Jack just is hanging out with me. Actually, he's my dad's dog. I have my own dog Charlie. I just got him, and he's the best. Ooh, try that again. It's a little something I'm playing with. It's supposed to be a blues thing, but I'm not doing it right, and I'll look at it later. But I'm gonna work on a song for my minister girlfriend, or who I want to be my minister girlfriend. I just kind of happened that way. I didn't actually seek out somebody who was like that much of a Christian, although like I am one myself. Uh, so we just happened to hit it off, and so I'm kind of holding out for that specific person. So I'm not in any rush to just be burning through women any more than I already have in the past. Hey Jack, good boy. Speaking of girls and women and stuff, all that kind of stuff. Um, I have a novel called Gethsemane. And it's based off my time as a chef in Charleston, South Carolina. Um, and my girlfriend at the time, her name was Amanda Zabella. She passed away in 2023 from alcoholism. But like, she was an amazing person. Our generation just has had to deal with addiction specifically a little bit more than any other. And it's something I talk about. And it's is something a theme in my book, Gethsemane. You could in my book, the first draft of Gethsemane is available for free in ebook format on my website, stephenleake.com, STEVENLEAKE.com. You can check it out. If you like it, throw me a buck or two, or buy me a coffee. Um, if you can, just go on my forum and tell me how you like it. I love getting feedback. And I also have an online forum on my website where you can comment. You can talk about politics if you want. I have that specifically to be a free speech zone. So if you want to go and you want to rant, as long as it's not hateful and like obviously bad, harmful, I'm gonna leave it up there and let you say what you want to say. We don't have enough free speech spaces online. So much is curated and censored still, and it's so unconstitutional. It's not even funny that these big tech companies can just censor shit without any consequences. And it's ironic that actually Amanda Zabella's brother should have been my ex brother-in-law. It's a Facebook executive, and I've kind of hounded him to like try to do something about that. To like make these big tech social media companies like follow the Constitution and uphold free speech. But I don't really get anywhere with that. This is "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. It goes out to Amanda Zabella, who was a warrior of the highest order and a patriot. Floyd "Wish You Were Here." And for next episode, I'm gonna get the lyrics to "Spring." I'm gonna play it next as an instrumental. But it's one song of mine that a lot of people like. It's kind of popular. It's kind of happy and wholesome. But this is instrumental. Thanks. It's been an especially good episode. I haven't fucked up my music too much. Sorry, I shouldn't cuss so much. The one thing that my parents and my family complain about is not the stuff I talk about, it's that I cuss a lot. And I'm working on that, and I apologize if it offends you. I'm going to work on it. But anyway, um, if you like these shirts, check out my website. You can get them for like $20, and there's a whole like web page of my designs and stuff. Monarchurbanwear.com. And if that site's somehow not up yet, it may not be. It'll be up within a week or two. Um, Thanks for hanging out with me today. I've really enjoyed it. I get a lot out of being able to come out here and like play for everybody, and speak my mind. I mean, I hope you enjoy it, but it's mainly just for me. But thank yous anyway. I think everything's going to be okay. I know there's a lot of political turmoil going on, but our country has gone through and been through much worse, and come out the other end even better. I really do believe we're on the precipice of correcting a lot of stuff, and we're going to have a golden age of like just abundance and peace and prosperity. And we're going to come out of this era that we've been in for 20 years, just kind of decline and like dysfunction. So don't be disheartened. Don't be demoralized. What people that hate us want is for us to lose heart and be demoralized and think it can't possibly get any worse, or can't possibly get any better, and we're just gonna lose our country and all kinds of shit. But we're gonna be fine, I promise. It's just the media, like kind of freaking everybody out and kind of, you know, scaring people. And there's war, rumors of war, and it's just focus on your family and go out and enjoy your life. If you get too overwhelmed by the media, just stop watching cable news. It's not really good for anybody at this point. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. We're going to be all right. We're going to win. Thanks.